up in a household where both of my parents really loved music. Neither of them played it, but I was constantly surrounded by mostly classic rock growing up. And then when I was about 9, my dad asked if I wanted to start taking guitar lessons, and I did. And then as soon as I started doing that, it was kind of game over. I have no idea how I would describe my sound. On all of my albums, like every other song is a different genre, and so I don't really know how to kind of put it into one thing. All of it's pretty strange. The first song on my last album was like a synth pop song, and then the last one was a very depressing folk song, so I don't really know what the title would be. I listen to a lot of music, so I have a lot of different inspirations. You might not expect it, but I listen to a lot of pop music throughout the decades and today also, and I think that's kind of inspired why I want a lot of hooks and catchy parts in my songs, but at the same time I also listen to a lot of weird stuff that people make in their bedrooms, and so people like Teen Suicide and Coma Cinema, and then just like, I could just ramble on, Frankie Cosmos, Kurt Vile. I don't know, I'm constantly listening to new music and scouting it out, so it's hard for me to narrow it down to just a few influences, because there's so many cool people out there making awesome music, and I kind of just want to support as many small bands as I can and also still listen to the hits. I personally love the music scene in Connecticut. I was out in California for a while, and since I've come back, I've just found it really welcoming, and it's more of a community than anything else. Like any music scene, there's definitely a lot of problems with it too, misogyny, sexism, racism, all in its different subtle forms and not so subtle forms. But I'd say overall, there's a lot of people doing really good things here and letting other people have their own voice. And I think it's important that everyone in Connecticut works together to change the bad parts of the music scene so everyone, no matter who they are, could have a voice in it.
Ember turns to ash. Look in my eyes, tell me to walk on broken glass. Hold me close, break my bones with memories. Empty hands chase me down the corridor. Ghosts I've seen slide across the icy ground like a noose welcomed with the breeze.
Living in Southern California, I was at a college out there. I went for one semester, I came back home. I went out for another semester, and I'm back again. So it was kind of a love-hate relationship there, because it was smack dab in the middle of Orange County, but it was also right next to a wilderness park. So I got these kind of dualities, and also the kids at the school were from all around the world, so now I have friends from everywhere, from Ethiopia to India and everywhere in between. And so I think more so than anything, the people inspired me out there. I made a lot of quiet songs because I was in a dorm room and I had to be quiet with what I was doing. So yeah. I make music because I feel like I need to for my own mental health. I don't usually talk about myself. Like even with my friends, I usually talk more about them or what's going on with them or just other things. So music is kind of the one way for me to say things that I don't usually say out loud. My process is super different every time. I haven't gone into a recording studio. I've self-recorded everything. Recently, I've been kind of really painstaking over the mixing process because I didn't really like the way I mixed the first album. So for this next full one that's going to come out this summer, I have been painstakingly pushing away at getting better at that. But I'm also releasing a really strange bass and vocal EP that's the complete opposite it, which was like all one takes, and I wasn't feeling great when I recorded it, so it was kind of a really cathartic thing than anything. It was more of like me writing in a diary. So I don't know, it's really different depending on my mood and the situation. I want to play a lot of shows in 2017, so if you're watching this, please book me. I have a band now. Besides that, I just kind of want to keep supporting other people. I've met so many awesome bands and great people, even in the less than a year I've been making music as Woozles, and so I just want to keep meeting those people and making those connections, because that's what really makes it worthwhile for me. And there's so many bands that I'm friends with now who are making a lot better music than me, which is inspiring me to kind of do better myself. What advice do I try to live by? Well, I really like Winnie the Pooh, and that's also why I named my band Woozles. I try to live by kind of taking things as they come, working away and enjoying what comes by, because I've definitely struggled a lot with depression and things like that, so I try my best to do self-care, and then everything else comes after that. Yeah. Love. Love.